What's happening, Captains? Today is the Smoky Mountain BBQ challenge, which is a challenge of my own creation. Look at all these sauces. Oh boy. Look at that. I have a good feeling about this challenge today. I have failed almost all but one. But today, I feel good. I feel strong. Let's see. Alright. Shout out to all the eaters on YouTube. Totally get a kick out of watching it. It's all I watch anymore is people eating on YouTube. Been a radio broadcaster for over 15 years. Be quiet. Radio broadcaster. Stop. Radio broadcaster for over 15 years, and just wasn't feeling it lately. Things get really crazy right now in media, and people threatening to kill journalists and threatening to physically, attack them and everything. I'm not making this up. I've had a few. I didn't have death threats, but I had a few threats of I'm going to meet you in the parking lot and beat you up because I didn't like what you said about a conservative elected official. Just ridiculous. So you know what? I'm taking a break, and I'm eating on YouTube. Not sponsored. Smoky Mountain BBQ. Nashville Hot. Georgia Gold. What an awesome little selection of tiny little sandwiches. And a big old thing of popcorn chicken, which I've never had there. I've never had KFC's popcorn chicken. I thought I'd give it a try. What's this? What's this? Biscuits. Don't even, because you can't go to KFC and not get biscuits. They're the bomb. They're the best. Gotta get them. But there are places. What was I going to say? Totally lost my train of thought. I don't need them, but you gotta get them when you go to KFC. I was thinking, you just can't make them like they do at KFC and Popeyes. You can try at home. I guess you can dip them in melted butter or something, but let's give these. Smells like chicken. They have a sweet and tangy sauce. I'm good with that. Oh, that's good. Alright, loudmouth. There's your cut. Alright. Alright. Let's try these sandwiches. Let's start. The Smoky Mountain. Alright, I'm done with it. They're so tiny. Oh my gosh. Wow. That is really good barbecue. Oh, jeez. That is great barbecue sauce. Wow. Should have got a whole bucket of this stuff. Really good. I've had the Georgia Gold and the Nashville Hot. Oh boy. Really good. This is going to be a good challenge. Tasty. Got pickles on it. I don't even care. Tell you what. I've done the eating challenge about, 6 or 7 times. Boring. So, I am going to tell a story. I was in radio in Jackson, Michigan, and Peter Noon from Herman's Hermits was doing like a little thing at a local museum. And we worked closely with the museum, and they wanted us to make sure to get some coverage to help promote the show coming up. And they had like a welcome dinner the night before the show. Well, I go to this welcome dinner, and he's there, and I pull like the museum curator aside and say, you know, it's really loud in here. I just need a couple minutes with Peter, you know, off to the side somewhere. Honestly, all I needed was like 8 seconds of sound with him. A little sound bite. Wrap a story around. So, she goes and gets Peter. And she goes and gets me. I think she's just going to take us to an empty part of the museum. She takes us to the supply closet. And locks us in. He says, I'll get you guys in a few minutes. Keep in mind, I'm like 20-something years old. It's the early 2000s. I mean, I knew who Herman Hermits were. I knew who Peter Noon was. I'd heard songs on, like, the Naked Gun movies and whatever. But, they left me in there for 10 minutes. And I asked all my questions in 30 seconds. Now, the one thing I did remember is there was a time in the 60s where the Herman's Hermits, or Herman's Hermits, whatever the hell they were called, had a lot of hits. And we mentioned that, I talked about that. And then there was like 7 minutes where me, a guy who just got promoted to news like a month ago, and Peter Noon of Herman's Hermits, big celebrity, he's a cool guy, are sitting in this supply closet with nothing to talk about. He's asking me about local restaurants and if there's any place to have a good time while he was there and overnight, and there really wasn't. But yeah, that was my first time ever interviewing a celebrity. It was 10 minutes, locked in a supply closet with Peter Noon of Herman's Hermits, with absolutely no questions written down, because I only needed 8 seconds with him. I had no idea they were going to do that. And, you know, we kind of looked at each other for 7 minutes. I know he just thought I was an idiot. But I have a bunch of much worse stories than that. I got sworn at by Tony Stewart. I mean, bad. Nashville Hot. Look at that. Man. Did some time with Adam Sandler and Kevin James at Michigan International Speedway. Had a real good conversation with Al Franken. Richard Petty. One of my favorite interviews. Like 20 minutes with Richard Petty in the rain. He was chewing tobacco. But some big ones too. A lot of congressmen. I got to sit in on a Bush, President George Bush, W. Bush, this Jr., sit in a press conference with him. I had to sit in a press conference with Bill Clinton. Those were a trip. They don't tell you not to smoke weed on the way to interviewing president because there's going to be a bunch of German shepherds standing in the doorway. A bunch of Secret Service members. I gotta say, this has been excellent so far. These sandwiches are the bomb. I was growing up, my family never ate KFC. Never. I'm a big family, so I only got two kinds of fast food in my house growing up. McDonald's and Little Caesars. Pizza back then, buy one, get one free. This is kind of hot. Dog behind me going crazy. Well, I get plain chicken. We can get chicken smothered in all these delicious sauces. They need to skip the pickles, though. That must be a southern thing, pickles and chicken. That makes no sense to me. These are great. The best popcorn chicken I've ever had. Mouth's on fire. I love this stuff. Buy bottles of it too. Exact same thing. Sweet chili sauce. Just the best. Precious. I just thought of that on the way in here today. I was like, maybe I'll tell a story about working in radio. I got a ton of them. Never told them. A lot of them are bad because bad shit happens. A lot of drugs, sex, stuff like that, and alcohol. But I didn't like talking about it in public because I wanted to still be hired at other radio stations. Trying to keep your mouth shut. But yeah. So I didn't really think of a good one, but next time I eat a bunch of food in front of the camera, I'll think of a better story. Can't quit eating these. These are phenomenal. Alright. Bang. By the way, these have all been rock and roll sandwiches. Wow. Chicken sandwiches have always been my thing. These are delicious. This is the honey mustard. I think that's what it is. Something gold. Popcorn chicken, what's that? Popcorn Colonel? KFC's game is strong. How am I doing on time? How's my challenge going? Mountain Dew, keeping it southern to go along with the Smoky Mountain BBQ. If you like food, chicken, and you have a bad opinion of KFC because of the past, which I have, this new stuff they got is fucking delicious. Georgia Gold. Southern Heat. Smoky Mountain BBQ. Oh, you know what? Here's the story. Stupid. Now 6 years old. This story needs to go back. When I was born really sick. And to date I've had 45 surgeries. Over 45. That's neither here nor there. But as a kid I was really sick. And I was always in the hospital. I mean, not year round, but quite often. I spent holidays in there and everything. And I was at Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit, Michigan. When who should walk in? Colonel Harland Sanders. Came in, full Kentucky Fried Chicken suit, string tie, bolo tie, whatever you call it. Sat down, talked with me for a little while. Asked me, I was eating ice cream at the time, and he asked me if I like chicken or ice cream better. And, you know, I was savvy. I told him chicken. He gave me a signed picture. And that was it. Now kids get visits from superheroes and Robert Downey and Chris Evans, but back then, it wasn't too common to get a visitor. So we got Colonel Harland Sanders. It was really cool, and I remembered it my whole life. And then, like, I Googled him when I got older. He was dying at the time. He was suffering from cancer. And he was going all over the place for treatment, but he lived in Kentucky. And one of the places he was going for treatment was Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit. So instead of this guy that's obviously worked his ass off his whole life, instead of just sitting in bed, you know, and saying, woe is me, I'm dying, he would put on that whole damn suit and go visit little kids while he was dying of cancer. And he died right after that. And I don't eat there a ton, but I make a point to go there. And he obviously, there's no connection with Harlan's family probably even anymore, but that was a big deal to me as a little kid to have this guy that I watched on TV my whole life come in, and he was really nice, and he was really southern, and he had the whole thing, the mustache, and like I said, the full suit, and you'd never know he was dying. He died right after that, actually. But you wouldn't know, he was friendly, and we had a really good time. I always can't believe I forgot to tell that. It's one of my favorite stories, that I got to meet Colonel Harland Sanders right before he died, and I was just a little kid, and really touching to me. So that's a better story for the KFC challenge. Got some popcorn chicken, some biscuits. I'm done. I lose. Challenge is too much. 3 sandwiches as far as I could go. Say hi to Dum Dum.